I don't know who you guys are paying attention to over there. I don't know who you guys really watch for information over there if you guys are planning to move to the Philippines. But would you trust those guys to tell you where to find you a good woman, whether it's in the D province, in a town, an educated lady, or a poor lady to be with? You know, hey, everybody needs love, man. All them girls, they need love. But I appreciate what my wife said to me as far as, no, we're not going to move there, because she didn't want us to waste that money to pack up and go to the Philippines, knowing that maybe in a year or two, I'm going to be bored out my goddamn mind to come back here to America. But you see, now that we have our daughter, and our daughter is getting bigger and very smart in school, I guess, you know, our private school money is really paying off. She's very smart. I feel now we can actually take her over to the Philippines when we are ready and put her in school, because she's a very smart girl. Hey, how you doing, my folks? Smoothly here. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. I know I'm having a good day. It is another blessed day. You know, we are alive. You know, I like to start off my YouTube channel by really saying that it is a blessed day. But I want to thank all you guys for coming back, watching my videos. I truly do appreciate you guys very much. But it seemed like we have some fun for the past 2 videos that I put out. Seems like it was really fun, you know. Hey, it was all in fun. Just 2 grown men disagreeing with each other. You know, I have my opinions about certain things. He has his opinions and views about certain things. But it is what it is, man. I'm not mad at nobody here, you know. But I want to talk about this here today. I truly want to talk about it. And mostly, these are going to be questions that I truly want to ask you guys. I'm going to form this conversation here, some of it mostly into questions. Now, truthfully, will any one of you guys travel abroad to a country that you know nothing of and travel to that country with a limited amount of budget? Let's just be honest about that. Would you trust certain expat YouTubers to tell you the truth about what it's like to be out there in the Philippines and what it's like to be living out there in the Philippines? Would you trust certain expat YouTubers on how you should really go about meeting a woman out there in the Philippines and the type of woman that you should be meeting? Now, the reason why I asked, you know, those questions is that we know for most guys, cost of living is number one reason why they are traveling overseas to the Philippines to live. Number 2, and you could consider that to be number 1 too, but I'm going to say number 2 is to go over there and meet them a woman to be with. Now hear me out. A few years ago, I was pushing my wife for us to get out of here, to move to the Philippines. And I'll tell you why. You know, most of my time that I've been working, I was a 1099 individual. 1099, paid my own taxes and everything. The job that I was on for many, many years after I left the facility, I dumped most of my money from my 401k into, you know, a Roth IRA. Take it from the 401k that I was building with the job that I was in the facility, and I dumped it into a Roth IRA. Now every year I contribute the amount of money that I'm supposed to because I was looking out for myself, for my retirement. Now, I couldn't touch that money until I was 59 and a half. You guys know I'm going to be 61 this year. So when I reached that ripe age of 59, I was ready to go. But you see, I had a good woman by my side who were telling me, no, we're not ready to go there. She didn't want me to just pack up and go there right away. She said there's so many things that you're not hearing from other YouTubers about the Philippines. What it's actually going to be like for living there from day to day basis. She explained to me, once I get there and I start going to all the places that I want to go to, explore all of the islands that I want to explore. She said after that, what is going to be there for you to do? I said, live. But she says, live in doing what? Do you have a hobby? Are you the kind of person who's going to go out there and mingle around with the local, talk to the local? You have this YouTube channel. Are you going to get up and go on out and talk to people the way you should be talking to people, mingle to people, to show people back in America the lifestyle that I'm living? I said, no, that's not me. I probably will be doing the same thing that I'm doing with my YouTube channel for years. Post a video once in a while, never on a regular schedule. Talk about any shit that I need to talk about, not what people want me to talk about. So she said, no, you're not ready. And I wouldn't do that to you. I went deeper. So I'm asking her a lot of questions as far as why. Is it me you don't want there because you are afraid that I might run around with other women? She laughed. She said, no, never entered her mind. She said, the problem is she knows how I am. She knows the things that I like to do here. She knows what I'm into. So she wanted to give us a few more years here in America with us traveling back and forth to the Philippines every year, because it's an every year thing for us. And, me get a feel of certain things other than what I'm really accustomed to. Because she says she see a lot of foreigners who are married to Filipinos that she know, felt like me, pack up and go to the Philippines. And within a few months or so, they don't want to be there no more. So that's the reason why I ask you guys those questions. Would you trust a YouTuber to tell you the truth, the whole truth about the Philippines and not just the sugarcoated part? Do you trust a Filipino if you're a single man and you're not going over there with a family like me and you want to find a good woman? Do you trust these guys to tell you about where you can find a good woman? Some of you guys might just be into a woman with, no education, no nothing. It's okay. That's what some of you guys want. Nothing is wrong with that. But I know the majority of you guys who are watching my videos, my 200 to 300 hardcore viewers who are watching my videos, I know a lot of you guys mentioned on my videos that you want a woman who have a job. But how many of those YouTubers out there we see are showing you guys Filipinos who have a job? We're really not seeing that. I don't know who you guys are paying attention to over there. I don't know who you guys really watch for information over there if you guys are planning to move to the Philippines. But would you trust those guys to tell you where to find you a good woman, whether it's in the deep province, in a town, an educated lady, or a poor lady to be with? You know, hey, everybody needs love, man. All them girls, they need love. But I appreciate what my wife said to me as far as, no, we're not going to move there, because she didn't want us to waste that money to pack up and go to the Philippines, knowing that maybe in a year or two, I'm going to be bored out my goddamn mind to come back here to America. But you see, now that we have our daughter, and our daughter is getting bigger and very smart in school, I guess, you know, our private school money is really paying off. She's very smart. I feel now we can actually take her over to the Philippines when we are ready and put her in school, because she's a very smart girl. You know, so fellas, I didn't want to make this a long video. I just wanted to make it a short video and have this conversation with you guys. Would you guys trust any YouTuber out in the Philippines to guide you into moving into the Philippines, giving you the best advice of where to live, giving you the best advice of how to really go about finding a woman, and giving you the best advice as far as how much money do you need to come into the Philippines with? Not just what you're getting monthly on your retirement. The amount of money that you need for a startup, because you are going to need that startup money. If you're going to get an apartment or something like that, you are going to need that startup money to get the items you need to make your apartment very comfortable. So just let me know down in the comments section, man, because I'm telling you, I watch a lot of YouTubers and I hear a lot of them say things about come to the Philippines. It's all great. Yeah, you know, I hear that. I know it's great. You know, been there, married to a woman who's heavily into her culture, who's very knowledgeable about her culture and her people. I take her word, you know, as gold. But for me, YouTubers, I listen, but it goes out the other ear, because I'm not hearing the whole story of what it's really going to be like in the Philippines. I just hear the sweet part. Beaches, sunshine, yeah, boom. I know that. Been there, done that. You know, people are kind, people are sweet, yeah, to a certain extent. Not everybody's really sweet and kind out in the Philippines. Or the ladies out here, they're the best and everything. Some of them, not all of them. And you'll get along so well with your people out there. Well, some of them, not all of them. So, you know, my advice is coming from my wife. But who would you guys take advice from? Please let me know that down in the comments section, man. Take advice from men who go out there with limited funds, end up in the hospital, begging for money on the internet to pay a couple of $100 to take him out of the hospital. Are those are the guys that you all are listening to? Listening to guys who are cohabitating with women for years, not really married for whatever reason, having kids. Those are the kind of guys that you all are taking advice from. And then again, you have the so-called married guys who claim they marry the best women out there in the Philippines. And later on, we're seeing in maybe a year or two or even less that marriage is over. So let me know down in the comments section who you guys take your advice from, or you guys do your own research. You guys always know what it is with me, man. It is always peace and love, man. Peace and love. Hey, stay blessed, everyone. Stay blessed.